The member for Monaro.
That only took 6 weeks.
Deputy Premier, Minister for Regional New South Wales and Minister for Police, can the Deputy Premier please update the House on what the government is doing to support and create jobs in regional New South Wales?
Deputy Premier.
Well, thank you, Mr Speaker. That's exactly how you ask a question. There's a sensible question from a hard-working member about what matters in regional New South Wales. Now, Mr Speaker, I just want to say to everyone in this place, at the moment, the regions are booming, and the regions are booming because of the investment that we are seeing from the Liberals and Nationals in government. And there's not many places that you don't travel to in regional New South Wales that you don't see the fingerprints of the investment that is being made by the Liberals and Nationals in government. Now, Mr Speaker, one of the programs I want to talk about today, I want to talk about this one, the Regional Job Creation Fund. And it's a program that's actually seen $140 million invested, and it's actually seeing around $300 million in private sector investment being also put into the fund. And that's actually seeing more jobs being created in regional New South Wales. And Mr Speaker, it has been so successful that the Treasurer this year even put in another $100 million so that we could have future rounds of that program in regional New South Wales. And it actually is working towards our target of establishing an additional 7,000 jobs in regional New South Wales. And we're well and truly on our way to achieving that target. Now that means thousands of jobs. It means that people will be able to find a job in our regional communities. Because in the past, people thought that they had to pack up. People thought they had to go to a city to actually get a highly paid, highly skilled job. But no more, because these jobs are happening in regional New South Wales. And it means, through our Regional Job Relocation Fund, it means now that businesses are actually relocating to the regions, they're expanding their businesses, and they're actually having the confidence to invest in regional New South Wales. And I know the member for Northern Tablelands, he's actually seeing a $1.4 million boost to Boss Engineering in Inverell. And it's going to create 70 new full-time jobs. Now, using this grant, Boss will develop a new range of its popular air seeder, a piece of machinery which makes seeding more efficient and sustainable. Mr Speaker, it also means cutting-edge farm machinery being manufactured in the Northern Tablelands that's going to be used all over Australia. It's a manufacturing boom, Mr Speaker, and it's taking place right in regional New South Wales. And Simmons Global, I've spoken about Simmons Global before, but it's such a good story, I've got to mention it again. It's 250 jobs that are going to be created in Narromine. And here's a business that's actually relocating from Western Australia. They want to come to regional New South Wales because of the opportunities that that's going to create. And then we've got Faircloth and Reynolds, 20 jobs in Coffs Harbour as they expand their business and manufacturing of refrigerators and air conditioners.
May I request we hear more of this fascinating information?
I've got 2 minutes. But I also want quiet in the chamber before we start the 2 minutes. Deputy Premier.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. We've got Steve International. They're using a $100,000 grant, and that's creating a dedicated assembly line for the manufacturing of small boats in Taree. And then we've got Taliesin Lithgow creating 56 jobs as they upgrade their military and civil manufacturing lines. And we know how important advanced manufacturing is, and I acknowledge the interests of those opposite as well. Because a few weeks ago, the member for Macquarie Fields, the member for Port Stephens, and Crackers, the member for Newcastle, they were all in the Port Stephens or in the Hunter area, and they visited a business called Larvo, and they're creating 250 jobs, and that's for Port Stephens. Now, Mr Speaker, they didn't realise that when they were there, they're actually doing it because this government gave them a grant of $5 million. So I was there 8 months ago announcing that they were getting $5 million from this government to be able to expand and to be able to create 250 jobs. And there it is, the front page of the paper, 250 jobs because of the Liberals and Nationals in government. Mr Speaker, and even the Shadow Minister for Small Business said, I quote, "By committing to domestic manufacturing, we can help grow innovative businesses like Larvo and many others across New South Wales. This will create much needed, well-paid jobs and grow our economy for the future. I couldn't have said it better myself, Mr. Speaker, and that's exactly what we are doing. And I'm actually going to use that quote. Good call. And I am going to use that quote in the future when we actually expand our regional job creation fund. Now, Mr. Speaker, what we see from Labor is nothing when it comes to advanced manufacturing. All we actually see is lip service, but what we're seeing from this side of the government is millions of dollars that are being invested in regional New South Wales, creating jobs of the future, and what we are doing is ensuring that regional New South Wales is getting a secure and a brighter future.